Here at Fenway Park, rich baseball history takes on an entirely new meaning. At 110 years old, this park represents tradition. Tradition similar to that of the Cape Cod Baseball League, which was founded 27 years prior to Fenway back in the year of 1885. As the premier amateur baseball league, the Cape is where the stars of tomorrow shine tonight, and where scouts line the stands of the 10 Cape League teams each and every night. However, on a day like this, the scouts gather together in one place at one of the nation's most iconic parks to see what some of the nation's best players can do. Throughout the entirety of today, all 10 Cape League teams will filter in throughout the day to take batting practice, perform infield and outfield drills, and speak with a variety of Major League representatives and scouts, amongst a variety of other opportunities. The Kettleers departed Lowell Park early this morning and are ready to take in all of what today has to offer. For the Kettleers Digital Network, I'm Rylee Pay. Now over to Jake Starr.
Thank you very much, Rylee. Today is an opportunity for a lot of the non-draft eligible Kettleers and those across the Cape Cod Baseball League to perform in front of MLB scouts for one of the first times in their collegiate career. A lot of these Kets are looking to build on their draft stock ahead of the 23 and 24 MLB first-year player drafts. But there are some Kettleers and guys across the league who are still draft eligible and remaining on rosters and having an opportunity to work out here in Fenway Park ahead of next week's draft. A couple of those Kets are Jimmy Obertot from Michigan and Tyler Johnson from Coastal Carolina. Both of them remaining on the roster before next week's draft and performing in front of scouts, hoping to up their stock in hopes of either being drafted or signed next week to a professional contract. Reporting from Fenway Park, I'm Jake Starr of the Kettleers Digital Network. Now over to Tim Crowley.
Jake, thanks so much. Here at Fenway Park, more than 100 years of baseball history lives inside these walls. But how many of those moments have ties to Cotuit? Actually, quite a few. Let's start back in a landmark year of this ballpark, 2004. After the Red Sox completed an unprecedented comeback against the New York Yankees in the ALCS, it was here that Game 1 played out in the World Series between the Red Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals. With the game tied at 9 in the 8th inning, it was a 1993 Kettleer and Mark Bellhorn that stepped to the plate, launching a 2-run home run that crashed off the foul pole, the pesky pole down the right field line, that gave the Red Sox an 11-9 lead and an eventual win in Game 1. The first in a 4-game sweep that brought the World Series title back to Boston for the first time in 86 years. Speaking of championships, the 2018 World Series MVP and Steve Pearce got his start with Cotuit back in 2004. 14 years later, he came to Boston in a midseason trade and did not miss his opportunity with the Red Sox. He hit 3 home runs in the final 2 games of the Fall Classic against the Dodgers to take home the Most Valuable Player award. Other standout postseason performances come in players such as Devin Marrero, who played for 2 summers with the Cats when he started at third base during the 2017 American League Division Series against the Houston Astros. Just 4 years later, the Red Sox would get the same opponent in the American League Championship Series when right-handers such as Matt Andreessen and Garrett Richards helped Boston get back to the LCS for the 3rd time in 10 seasons. Finally, the impact of Cotuit guys here at Fenway Park extends beyond the playing field. Lou Maloney did play a couple years for the Red Sox back in the early 2000s after playing with Cotuit in 1992. He later made the jump to radio as a midday host with WEEI and fills in as a color commentator on the Red Sox radio network. With so many unbelievable baseball moments taking place in this park, Cotuit continues to make its impact on baseball history. For the Kettleers Digital Network, I'm Tim Crowley. Now we'll send it out to right field with our sideline reporter, Jenna Meyer.
We are not at Lowell Park anymore. We are here at Fenway in Boston, Massachusetts for the 2022 Cape League Fenway Day. Players have the opportunity to work out in front of scouts in a different way than the traditional Cape League game, with a sprint, infield, and batting practice to show off their final talent and potential leading into the 2022 MLB draft next week. Now, it's not just the Kettleers here in attendance today at Fenway Park, but all 9 Cape League teams are represented. And something unique about the Cape League and Fenway is that many parks have very unique dimensions, starting with the green monster behind me, 310 feet deep and 37 feet high, often a target for those big Red Sox hitters at the plate. Now over to the right field pole, also known as the pesky pole, starts at 300 feet but quickly jets out to 380 feet. Very similar to Doran Park, home of the Bourne Braves, where it starts at 300 feet but quickly jets in a same fashion to 360 feet. And lastly, here at Fenway Park, the shortest distance down the left field line in the major leagues, 310 feet here at Fenway Park, and the shortest distance in the Cape League, 352 feet down the center of Red Wilson Field, home of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. That's all for us here at Fenway Day with the Cape Cod Baseball League. On behalf of our team in Tim Crowley, Jake Starr, Rylee Pay, and I'm Jenna Meyer with the Kettleers Digital Network. See you back at Lowell Park.